Very good morning, everyone. I hope you like the little music to spice the morning. I know it's early morning. Good morning to our guests of honor, EDB Chairman, Dr. Basan Green, Excellencies, honored guests, our CEO, Polman, Unilever colleagues, startups, and our friends. Welcome everyone to the official opening to Level 3. Very excited as well. It's been a short journey, I have to say. Since we've put up the space in only 8 weeks, with 2 weeks of Chinese New Year and 2 weeks of Christmas. But we are here today, and I'm really excited. I would like to start not with the PowerPoint, no worries, just a picture. If you look at this picture and you look at the strong guy and the little guy, who do you think is going to win the wrestle? You should say the strong guy. Now, if I'm telling you that this is not a wrestle, it's a race, who do you think is going to win? The little guy, because he's agile, because he's fast, and he's light. Both of them have strengths, of course. Foundry's mission is to collaborate, experiment, and pioneer with the little guy. Unilever Foundry is a model that connects our brands and function with innovators and entrepreneurs of the world. We are providing Unilever a unique point of contact to the startup community and communities, direct access to potentially disruptive technologies and new business models that solve real business challenges. Level 3 is a partnership between Unilever Foundry and Padang & Co. that brings that mission to the next level. Located within Unilever Singapore headquarters, home to our global and regional brands and functions, Level 3 provides a physical access, a physical connection between our organization and startups in the region and beyond. Regardless whether you are a small startup, a big startup, ready to scale, a young entrepreneur, Level 3 is the springboard that allows you to build your business and to scale it. More than just a working space, you will be part of an entire ecosystem. Level 3 is a destination. It will provide your business with a connection not only with Unilever and their experts and expertise, but with other brilliant entrepreneurs, with our tech partners, with investors, venture capitalists, and more. Together, you'll develop opportunities, your opportunities and solutions within a real business context. So today, you'll have the opportunity to walk around the space, discover the space that we have built, discover that springboard that we are intending to build. This will give you a good sampling of what we are trying to do. We'll have a lot of activities around the space itself. But for today, you'll hear from our CEO, Polman, from EDB Chairman, Dr. Swan, and from Derrick, Chiang, CEO of Padang & Co. You then have the opportunity to walk and talk to the startups that are here. Today we have 4 startups already in-house. 15 have signed up for being in the space within the next month or 2. And we are looking at ramping up very quickly. And finally, we'll have a panel of experts tackling corporate innovation and future of work, moderated by Adam Lime, Chairman and co-founder of Padang & Co. And with that, please join me to welcome our CEO, Paul Polman.
being here. It's actually great to see you all this morning here, and I thank you also for some of you changing your schedule to do it in the morning instead of the afternoon. I am on a very short, quick trip to Southeast Asia, and we have this afternoon already meetings in Myanmar and then off to Vietnam, and so it goes, but I didn't want to miss this opportunity. The main reason is not level 3, it's just to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. Level 1 for me was getting out of bed this morning. Just flying in yesterday from Europe. Level 2 is breakfast, and I'm glad I've arrived at level 3. I'm looking forward to tonight, which probably will be level 0 to catch up. But anyway, it's really great to have my friend here, Dr. Swan, obviously the chairman of the EDB, and our wonderful partners here in our long-term relationship that we have with Singapore. And I'm glad we get to see each other quite often. A few weeks ago we were both in Davos, now celebrating here this wonderful new venture that probably will lead us to some of the areas that we haven't even discovered yet. That's the most exciting part of it to me. We have Steve Leonard here for the CEO of SG Innovate, Jacqueline Poe, CEO of GovTech, Scott Richmond, the British High Commissioner, Bruce Gosper, the Australian High Commissioner, members of the Dutch Embassy, Hans Akkerboom and others, and obviously distinguished colleagues, friends, families, and others that are here. It's really a pleasure to have you at this special event that opens this level 3. As I said, it's probably one of the most exciting things we do in Unilever right now. The speed of innovation, the speed of change that we have in the world has never been faster, and it's probably confusing a lot of us. It's confusing a lot of companies, it's confusing a lot of individuals, it drives some of the decisions that we see on the political front, and for us it's very important as a company that we stay ahead of that. It's not the technology itself that obviously we're interested in, but it's really the adoption of these technologies and how it changes consumer behavior and how it changes business models. And as I look around this morning, and we just got a tour with some of the startup companies, you can already start to see some of the wonderful opportunities where it leads to. Companies like ours, traditional companies, obviously have to continuously reinvent themselves. What we would get away with changes that we would do over a 5 or 10 year period, if you don't implement these things now in a 6 months or 12 months period, you're probably toast. And continuously looking at how do you drive your relevance higher, how do you drive your innovation capabilities higher is the most important thing we do. We look at startups and hopefully get them into our company. We just bought last year some wonderful companies like 7th Generation or Dollar Shave Club or Blue Air, which is an air cleaning, freshening company in China. We have the foundry that is located here and in other parts of the world, which connect us with companies into our system, which we are very excited about. And part of this ecosystem needs to be expanded, obviously, also, which is here now with this level 3 opening that we do. I would call this transformational for many different reasons. It's transformational because it's the first one we do in the world. Undoubtedly, it will not be the last one. It's transformational because it's also in Singapore, where I think we are very well located to make use of this enormous ecosystem that is there. And it also, for us, is the first time that we link it in with other parts of our own organization in terms of benefiting from the energy that undoubtedly comes out of it, the ideas, but also hopefully to get some of that into our own value chain. I was glad to hear that it is supported by a host of programs to make it possible. As Barbara was saying, we have about 15 startups already now. We might be at about 50, you were saying, startups this summer in July, so it's going very fast, as you would expect. And then a combination of fireside chats or mentoring programs, trend briefings and other things that come with it, I think will create something that is very, very dynamic. In fact, we've been in Singapore since 1954, which is actually well before the birth of the nation itself. And we've seen our presence grow here and have a very fruitful and successful relationship with Singapore, with the Singapore government, with EDB, and obviously have this as an enormously important center for us, for the region and beyond. We run some of our global brands here, brands like Lux or Pond's or Clear or Close Up and Lifebuoy. Unilever International is here, one of our fastest growing business divisions. We have our information and analytics group here, not surprisingly. Unilever Engineering is located here, and the list goes on. In 2016, nearly in anticipation of this level 3 that we're opening today, we made significant investments in Singapore, again in the area of analytics, digital and e-commerce, very fast growing. China, obviously, an example of that here in the region, which is on steroids as far as e-commerce is concerned. And we have amazing pilots that we're already running here in the areas of artificial intelligence, cognitive computing, social analysis, and smart data solution. And I've been privileged with the EDB to look at some of that last time I was here, and it's very promising because it builds on what you've tried to create in Singapore, obviously, with your Smart Nation visit and the digital hub, if you want to call it that way, that I think we will benefit from enormously. That's why I'm also pleased to see, as we were taking this tour this morning, that the People Data Center is here as well, up and running, obviously expanding it. We're now at 12 People Data Centers in the world. This one is one of these 12, will probably go up to about 15, with the idea, as was well explained to us this morning, to connect at least 1 billion consumers. I'd say that should be a starting objective, because in my opinion there are over 7 billion consumers in this world, going to 9 billion, and I'd like to connect them all, so this is a good starting point. Now in 2015, Singapore did obviously prepare the grounds for us, and that's why we feel comfortable about that, because in 2015 about $1.5 billion, I've been told, was invested here in startups in Singapore, and it certainly ranks as the best city for startups in Asia. And soon, I believe, it will rank as one of the best cities for startups globally. We have over thousands of startups that are here, and not surprising to me, because if you really look at the catchment area here, which I would define perhaps as a 6-hour flight or less, we're really talking about 4.2 billion consumers in the world. I'm always surprised that when you see a map of the world, it sort of has my home country, the Netherlands, in the center of it. And that's how we look at the world. I don't know if that's any correlation with me being born there, but if you actually look at where the world is and the population is, you really should create a different map of the world, and having 4.2 billion people in such a small catchment area makes this enormously exciting. This obviously is a springboard for hopefully expansions. We want to help the startups themselves, give them the opportunities in areas where it's difficult for startups, difficult to get access to major companies, difficult to get into value chains, difficult to benefit from some experience and ideas of what is working in the real world, if I may say, and being able to be so closely together and openly interfacing with each other should result in an enormous energy that is being unlocked to the benefit of everybody. This morning we had the pleasure to see some of the level 3 companies that will be moving in. Snapcart, a very good one, very smart people running it, and I was glad that they came from one of our competitors, because I'd rather have the good people come from our competitors than from us. But a very interesting way of getting to the shopper and the shopper behavior. We looked at task spotting, at Ludio, GetCraft, and EcoHub. EcoHub actually just around the corner was looking at how we can connect the smallholder farmers, the fishermen, really the people at the bottom of the pyramid that we're all trying to cater to. And it's clear that when you listen to them, you can see that how they use real-time information to optimize our decision making, how they run smarter engagement programs with our consumers, how they help us automate and optimize our supply chain to reduce waste or create livelihoods, etc., etc. So all these things come back to a simple question I'm always asking myself: why are we doing these things? Why are we here? Why do we create more of these startups? And undoubtedly, some of you have ambitions to be, to create a big business, to employ other people, to bring your passion to life. But ultimately, it's because of another reason. It's because of helping people with creative solutions, that actually can't help themselves. We still live in a world where too many people are left behind, and I dare to say increasingly so. So keep in mind that the reason we develop these technologies go to the heart of our Unilever Sustainable Living Plan, to be sure that we create a more sustainable and equitable world for everybody. I proudly wear the pin of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is a very simple framework that the world has chosen in 2015 to irreversibly eradicate poverty in a more sustainable and equitable way. And I cannot think about a more noble cause that we should keep in mind as we put these businesses in place. We just, with the help also of Singapore and Mrs. Ho Ching from Temasek, we created a commission of business and sustainable development, it's called, where we look at the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, and where we come to the conclusion, not surprisingly, that if we implement these goals, we create an economic opportunity of a minimum of $12 trillion up to $30 trillion. You might say that's surprising, but in this world still, just to give women an equal opportunity than men in terms of access to education or financing or land rights would unlock $28 trillion if we were able to do that globally. We lose every year 3% of our biodiversity, so thinking about it smartly unlocks enormous amounts. This is still a world where 9% of our total spending goes to conflict prevention and war. So if we can channel that into these development goals, which cost far less, then I think we do something with purpose and we make a difference to the people that can't help themselves. I just wanted to end and take a moment to obviously thank the efforts of Padang and company, which have been incredible partners, together with the Unilever Foundry, Derrick and his team in Southeast Asia, for frankly making a leap of faith and creating a vision that is probably bigger than many of us had thought, by putting this level 3 in place. And I, again, just being here this morning not only gives me enormous satisfaction to see the quality of the people that we have and the passion that we have and the ability to work together, but also an enormous hope that you will come with the solutions that we all need to create this better world for all. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your support. I'd like now to invite Derrick, CEO of Padang & Co, to come up with his perspective on level 3.
Thank you, Mr. Polman. There's so much love in the air today. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Swan, Excellencies, distinguished guests, and friends. Welcome to Level 3. In the last 8 weeks that Barbara was talking about, I've been thinking a lot about this today. A lot. As we're designing and setting up the space, I was thinking, what music would we play today that speaks to innovation? I ended up picking the Beatles, but you guys were such a lively bunch of people, we couldn't hear anything. But anyway, I recently saw the excellent documentary 80s Week about the early days of the Beatles, how they disrupted everything and changed everything. And it struck me, it's the ultimate startup story. In their early years, they kept putting themselves out there, performing to small audiences, and when it hit the inflection point in 1963, and boy oh boy, did they scale. We sometimes forget how truly innovative they were, and they still are, and how the ecosystem around us started to emerge and evolve. For example, new sound amplification solutions had to be invented so that they could actually do the stadium concerts that the Beatles actually pioneered. And a mere 3 years later, in 1966, at the height of Beatlemania, they pivoted. They stopped touring and focused their entire energy in producing a truly astonishing body of work on the way to immortality. Now, like the Beatles, we have very humble beginnings. Padang & Co was born out of Beatle Circus, which was founded by Darryl Arnold, who brought Adam Lau, Padang & Co's executive chairman, and I together. Darryl, a Brit, Adam, an Australian, and I, a Singaporean, who spent a decade overseas. We converged in Singapore. Three of us have been very fortunate to have lived and worked in several commercial hubs and inspired by lots of talented people and exposed to the power of cross-cultural collaborations. And like the Beatles in the latter years, we hope to make the world a better place. And at Padang & Co, we do that through open innovation. With our urban prototyping or Up Singapore community, we bring lots of passionate and talented people and organizations together to help make Singapore more sustainable, more livable, and more globally competitive through our hackathons and other innovation programs. And as innovation catalysts, we are also motivated in finding ways to connect with corporates, with innovators who have the ideas and technology to basically invent the future. We share the same ethos with Unilever Foundry, and so it was indeed a big privilege to partner with the Unilever Foundry when they launched in Asia in 2015. We've been working very closely with the Unilever Foundry team as a scout to identify a wide range of startups to respond to Unilever briefs. So when the opportunity to create this new innovation space presented itself, it just seemed like a very natural progression for us to take our partnership to the next level, Level 3. We're very proud to create Level 3 jointly with the Unilever Foundry. It is a workspace that will redefine corporate innovation and provide startups and entrepreneurs with the opportunities to drive real business impact. We believe this is the future of innovation. Ecosystems are created where people interact with each other, solve problems together, develop opportunities together. Level 3 will foster that learning, collaboration, and experimentation. We're very, very excited about the programs and events that we've got lined up, the fireside chats, expert sharing sessions, mentoring sessions, training by technology partners, and so on. As Level 3 grows, we will contribute to a more diverse and successful entrepreneurial landscape for Singapore and far beyond. We want to do our part in the sustainability of the Singapore startup system. Ultimately, we do see my own company, Padang & Co, as an example of what I would like to see out of Level 3. We started this relationship with Unilever 3 years ago, and now we're in this partnership in Singapore to launch this springboard for other startups to help them realize their potential here and beyond as we grow. So I strongly encourage you to spend a little bit of time talking to startups who are here today and consider how you can help and create a stronger community and work with us. We have a lot of people to thank. Thank you to Barbara Gupillon and Jonathan Harmon from the Unilever Foundry for your support. And also to our friends at Unilever and other corporates and government partners, thank you so much for choosing to work with us and the Level 3 startups. And now if you just indulge me, I'd just like to go quickly off script to also, on behalf of all the entrepreneurs in this room, thank you to all the husbands and wives who wait patiently for us as we go. One more email. Or parents who actually don't understand what we do but are really proud at Chinese New Year. And to our friends who don't stand up and walk out when we sing out of tune, and who ask a really simple but very important question, are you okay? This all means a lot. So most of us mere mortals won't achieve what the Beatles have done, but with a little help from our friends, we can all do amazing things. Thank you. Now please join me to welcome our guest of honor, Chairman of the Singapore Economic Development Board, Dr. Swan.
Mr. Polman, CEO of Unilever, Alan, Luigi, Your Excellencies, friends from Unilever, from the startup community, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to you. It really gives me immense pleasure to join you in witnessing the launch of Level 3. In September last year, I joined Paul in an interview with Straits Times to talk about how Unilever is responding to the digital revolution. And I'm delighted to now be here to be part of this celebration of how Unilever is responding to the whole innovation and revolution. See, the landscape for consumer packaged goods is being shaped by trends such as digitalization, consumer hyper-fragmentation, and the rising Asian middle class. This sector is anticipated to have more change over the next decade than in the last 40, 50 years. And companies need to reimagine their products, their services, their channel strategies, as well as business models and customer relationships in order to remain relevant. Multinational companies like Unilever are reinventing themselves and at the same time looking outside to entrepreneurs and startups for new ideas and solutions. In fact, a recent INSEAD report highlighted that 68 of the top 100 Forbes Global 500 corporations have some form of collaborations with startups. And this combines, as Barbara said, the startups' speed and agility in developing ideas into successful proof of concepts with the multinational companies' might, their channels, their know-how to scale. The startup segment in Singapore is a rapidly growing part of our corporate ecosystem. Since 2013, more than $1 billion a year have been invested into the startup ecosystem. Strong government support coupled with this vibrant venture capital scene are producing a growing pool of successful new enterprises in Singapore. Whether it's Grab, whether it's Garena. By the way, we claim Southeast Asian startups as our own. Whether it's Grab, whether it's Garena, Lazada, and so on. I think we have many examples today of the new generation of entrepreneurs who are doing extremely well. The addition of Level 3 will thus enrich Singapore's startup community because it will generate a constant stream of real-life problem statements to catalyze demand-led innovation, user-inspired innovation. Unilever's expertise in building billion-dollar brands and expensive global networks also makes it a valuable mentor and go-to-market partner for startups to scale their solutions regionally and globally. Level 3 positions Singapore as one of the transformative innovation epicenters for Unilever itself, which in turn we hope will help accelerate the pace of innovation in the company. For instance, Next Billion, one of the companies that have been highlighted there, is a Singapore social enterprise startup that creates technology and platforms to enable a deeper understanding of emerging consumers. I understand that Next Billion partnered Unilever Bangladesh in a pilot to increase consumer awareness of Lifebuoy and Pepsodent, and that pilot generated an 18% improvement in brand recall, and I'm glad that they are now extending the partnership into other markets like Myanmar. So in closing, let me just talk about 3 reasons why Level 3 are important for Singapore. I think firstly, it will be a good boost to the startup ecosystem, and that's why EDB is very proud to be a supporter of Level 3. Second, it helps companies, multinational companies, create new businesses, and that's also very important for the next leg of Singapore's economic growth. And third, it is yet another manifestation of how large companies in Singapore partner with the small, medium-sized enterprises here in Singapore. In manufacturing, of course, those relationships express themselves in supply relationships. For headquarters, commercial organizations, it benefits a lot of the professional service providers, whether it's the lawyers, the accountants, the marketing companies, the consulting companies. And now, I'm very, very happy to see these sort of partnerships extend into the innovation space. And Level 3 is really a physical representation of this new form of partnership. So let me express my sincere appreciation to Paul and his team for their partnership with EDB and the confidence in Singapore. Unilever develops products that are really indispensable to our everyday life, and we look forward to welcoming the revolutionary products and solutions that will emerge from Level 3. Congratulations to the team here on this milestone, and I wish them all the very best in the journey ahead. Thank you.